And we are live.
Food Court, the movie podcast, and Twitch stream where Sean
And Michael.
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
Yes, we are.
Michael,
Mm-hmm.
welcome. Welcome to Food Court,
Oh,
the movie
thanks.
podcast. This week we're talking about the feature film, part 17 of the Conjuring Cinematic Universe,
Yeah.
Annabelle Creation. This is the origin story of the scary doll from the first Conjuring movie.
The first Conjuring, it opens with the Annabelle stuff.
Is it in the second one too?
No, I don't think they bring it up in the second one.
That's
that I
smart.
can remember. Yeah.
They knew we're gonna have 7 to 10 other Annabelle movies. We need to save our space
for Annabelle. Yeah.
for Annabelle.
And they were already introducing other thing. They were like, okay, now we have other franchises we're making off of this, so no more Annabelle.
We need the Nun. We're gonna have the Nun. There's gonna be a Scarecrow cinematic universe.
Yeah.
There's gonna be the Japanese armor in that's for some reason in their house. There's gonna be a Japanese. That actually, I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
That I just made up.
Yeah.
Is that there's a Japanese. You get a Japanese director.
Yes.
With talent, not some piece of shit who's making romantic comedies, and then they're like, "Oh, what if he was?" What they'll actually do is they'll get some Korean guy,
probably
from America,
sure,
and they'll be like, "I don't know, are you Japanese?" And he'll go, "I am not," and they'll go, "Well, fuck it, you're directing this Japanese movie.
Yes.
Learn Japanese, and the next week, you're in the movie,
yeah,
and you're directing it." We need representation.
Damn.
We don't know how to get it. We're confused. We're scared about we're all white guys, so we're scared. We want to get representation, but we don't know how to do it.
We can't do it.
Are you Japanese? They're just going to go around LA asking any Asian person they
tell
see.
us you're Japanese.
Are you Japanese, please? We need someone to do this movie fast.
Are you Japanese, please?
Are you Japanese, please?
I am
One of the
not.
greatest songs ever written.
Yeah.
By Toto.
Oh.
That was their hit after Africa.
Oh.
Once Africa was done, they were like, "Are you Japanese, please?" Ooh, speaking of songs,
yes.
Right now we got to go directly into. Would you sing the song again from? This is the Panda Express.
Oh yeah.
Song.
You know what time it is? Ding 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 ding. Here comes the Panda Express. Pulling in today. What movies did we see this week? We need more orange chicken. You know how when you're in there, they always yell out. I thought that would be a good.
You always need more orange chicken because when they see us coming, they're like, "Oh shit, these guys might get double orange chicken because they're." Let's be honest with ourselves.
Hungry.
Inside or outside, they're big boys.
Yeah. They can tell.
Yeah. They want orange chicken as a side.
Who wouldn't?
And as 2 entrees. What did you watch this week, Michael, other than Annabelle Creation? Do you even watch a movie? You hate movies.
I haven't been to the theater this week. So I thought we would save it for you because I know you've been to the theater.
You know what I did this week, Michael?
No, I don't.
I saw the feature film Mission Impossible. Directed by Brian De Palma, starring Tom Cruise and others. Jon Voight.
Oh, wow.
Famous weirdo Republican Jon Voight.
We all love him.
And it was amazing. Of course, I love that movie, and I expected it to be amazing. But the audience, my audience, kicked it up a notch by being a good crowd.
Ooh,
they were excited in exciting times. It was fun. There were 2 little kids, and I thought, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
They were not like little kids, but they were little kids.
Yeah.
And they were great.
Ooh.
There was one part, we all know the part where poor Tom is hanging from 2 little wires inside of a special room, and the floor is special, and it's hot and cold. You can't, and toast. We know the scene.
Crazy.
It's the one that they put in all the commercials.
Yeah.
And right at the end of that scene, stupid Jean Reno drops his knife, and it's slowly, big time De Palma slow motion falling through the air.
Oof.
And the kid in front of me goes, Open the door. Open the door. He's like so desperate for the door to be open so that the knife will not like set off any alarms. And he just said it out loud. He's like, open the door. Open the door. And it was awesome.
That sounds great.
For a few reasons. One, because Mission Impossible is great. It was great to enjoy with people.
Of course.
But also because I watched it in a theater with little kids, and it gave me the tiniest sliver of hope for the future that maybe theaters will still be open.
Ooh.
And I could still go see movies in a movie theater.
I don't think that is an impossible mission. That one. I think that one is very possible.
Michael, where do you come up with this shit?
Well, it's kind of like a reference to the movie you were talking about. Mission Impossible.
Run that by me again. Sorry, okay, so I think I missed it.
Ethan Hunt is a part of the Impossible Missions Force, the IMF.
Yeah, IMF, yeah.
So they go on impossible missions. So I was thinking, like, the mission is like, can we get the theaters back? Mission not impossible because they're back, baby. If you're being safe, they are back, and you can go watch a movie.
Well, fuck me in the armpit. That is funny. Where do you come up? I don't even want to ask again where you come up with this because you already told me.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me again. What?
So you know how the movie.
You know, in the movie, how it's called Mission Impossible. Yeah. Well, they're called the Impossible Mission Force for some reason.
The IMF.
Because it's based on a TV show. That's why.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that true? I didn't know that. I thought they made up this Mission Impossible
So is Annabelle, actually. That brings me on to The Conjuring and the Annabelle. They are based on the TV series Friends. I don't know if you remember it. Got the clapping. Wait, is that illegal? Can I? Oh shit! Are we gonna get thrown off Twitch for the clapping?
No.
Is that copywritten clapping? Copywritten crapping? Is that copywritten crapping?
Maybe.
It might be copywritten.
It might be copywritten.
We watched Annabelle Creation. It's important to remember as we get off on our tangents that we did in fact watch Annabelle Creation.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you why we did it. You probably will also tell us, Michael. Because we just like this movie. We put it on the poll, and we were hopeful that it would get picked because we wanted to talk about it.
It's true.
Because we enjoy it. And this is something that I want you to talk about. I believe it is underappreciated.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked to multiple people who are like, I haven't watched that movie. That's one of those stupid Annabelle prequels, which I totally understand.
Of course.
I mean, when you hear prequel, you go, well, that's fucking bullshit. Who cares?
Yeah.
Why would I want to see a movie that happens before the movie I like?
Which is weird because I guess the entire Annabelle series is a prequel because it's prequel to Conjuring. But yeah, that's weird.
Or the third one is a in medias res.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah,
I don't know what movie it's happening.
It's really weird because it's like the first Annabelle is before The Conjuring, and then the second one is way before The Conjuring.
Yes,
and then the third one is after The Conjuring. I think it's between the first and second one.
That might be right.
I don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
Who could tell? Who could ever?
How do you know? And who cares?
And who cares?
But the beautiful thing about Annabelle Creation, which we'll get to in the plot, is that none of the characters appear in The Conjuring other than Annabelle.
Yeah,
so you don't know. Are these people gonna die? Who the fuck knows?
Who are they? Yeah, you have no clue.
Which is good because in some other prequel, you'll see some main character from the movie,
you're like,
and you go, well, Han Solo's in this. I guess he's not going to fucking die.
Exactly.
Since he's in fucking Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and Empire Strikes Back, and Revenge of the Jedi. He's in all of the movies, so he's not going to die. So there is no drama.
There's nothing at stake. Yeah, you're just like, they're fine. Everybody here is safe. Yeah.
Maybe his girlfriend will die and he could be sad about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you feel. That is exactly how I felt being in the seats on July 4th, Independence Day.
Was it July 4th?
2 years ago. Watching that blazed out of my mind. Just like, what is this movie?
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it. And I also have some more Star Wars thoughts. Who's ready for...
Are we doing...
It's a Star Wars detour.
We're going back to Star Wars, even though we talked about it last week.
Well, I went ahead. I was bored dog sitting, and I went, okay, let's just play. Had some Mexican food I ordered. I said, let's just play Empire Strikes Back. Bored out of my mind to tears. I was like, what is this? What happened to these? There's just nothing there. And I mean, it was better than the first one, but I was like,
yes.
Ugh. And then action, can we talk about this? No one talks about this. Action in old movies has gotten so lame comparatively. Like,
really?
Darth Vader throwing boxes at Luke looks hilarious. He's just like,
yeah.
Ooh, it's just like, what is this?
I will say it depends on the movie.
Yeah.
But this specific action
Yeah.
has not dated that well.
No. Anyway.
I mean, when you see someone driving fast
yeah.
in a movie, you're like, hell yeah.
Because they actually are driving fast.
They're not just throwing weird boxes.
Yeah, why are there all these boxes?
Why? They have, yeah, we got to move out of the Death Star next week. We actually have to move to the new Death Star.
Yeah.
This is the one that we're building, the Death Star 2. But we're moving into Death Star 3. It's like a smaller Death Star, and it can't blow up whole planets, but it can blow up moons.
Yeah.
So if you got a rebel base on a moon,
you're screwed.
We can probably wipe that out.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
We'll get to that moon when we destroy it.
This is always dangerous, Michael. Mm-hmm. But I'm feeling wild.
Uh-oh.
What happens in Annabelle Creation? What is the plot, Michael, of Annabelle Creation?
Oh, man, the plot is out of control. Okay, I'm going to try to do it fast.
Okay.
A doll maker makes a doll. He's making dolls all the time, and his daughter loves the dolls. Oh, she loves them. And and then she dies. She gets run over by a car.
Yep.
And they had a sweet family, and you're sad, and you're like, oh shoot.
They're
credits. So box burning. Annabelle Creation. And that's how it starts. And then a nun and her kids she's watching at the orphanage are all on a bus, and they're driving to the middle of nowhere because they need a new home, and they find a new home with the Mullins family, but there's mystery all around them. The mom, Miss Mullins, is like shrouded literally in a room with curtains and stuff, and they're like, what's going on there? And she rings a little bell, and then slowly things start getting creepier and creepier, and then Linda and Janice, the two inseparable friends, are start to see weird things start happening, creepy things start happening, and Janice gets way too caught up in it because she can't play with the other girls, so she has to find stuff to do with her time because her leg, she had polio, so she's effed big time. Now she's got polio in a ghost house.
In the jargon of the day, she's fucked.
Yeah, fully fucked.
She's completely fucked. We must say, before we get too deep, we're spoiling this motherfucker. Oh, yeah. Keep going, Michael.
Big spoilers.
Big time spoilers.
What is it, 6 years
She got
old?
polio. That's big. Yeah. That's a big time spoiler.
What? And then polio? And then, of course, the nun doesn't believe the girl, like, you need to confess to your sins, stop making up shit. Even though it's like, you believe in the grace.
Of all people.
What do you think?
Madam Charlotte, is that her name?
Charlotte.
Charlotte, Sister Charlotte, you're the one who's been telling me about God and shit this whole fucking time. And now... You've been like, well, there's God and he's up in heaven. He loves us. I mean, he made us all orphans, which is weird. It's a really weird way to prove that he loves us. But also, I have polio. I can't walk. Yeah. But he does love us. If for the long haul,
even more so,
you got to think about, like, okay, this life may be pure suffering from beginning to end, and it may even get steadily worse during your life
in ways you never even imagined.
Yes.
You're like,
as you realize, as you become more knowledgeable, you see more pain in the world,
Yes.
and that haunts your days
like a ghost
and nights.
haunting the halls
The
of a
ghost
house.
of your brain house. But once you're dead, this is still Sister Charlotte talking to the little girl. Once you're dead, you're in heaven forever, and it feels like
awesome.
Like you're a little girl, so you won't understand this, but it feels like coming times a billion.
Yeah, or eating
a trillion.
A trillion, yeah. I would say
or
a trillion.
Let's say for something that you'll understand, like eating a what is a candy from your era?
Charleston Chew.
Yes, Charleston Chew. It's like eating a Charleston Chew
forever
times a trillion.
Forever.
But it never stops tasting good. It's like the first time you take that bite in the Charleston Chew.
Every bite is the first bite. Of a
Chew.
Charleston Chew.
That's heaven, baby.
And that's basically what she says. And she says you got to do penance. And then things do not get better. And she was not making it up.
No.
And then all the girls start having little things happen, but they kind of just write it off like, we're just crazy. Which
it is weird.
But I don't blame the movie, because literally every horror movie that's ever existed has characters like this where you're like,
yes.
No.
And we need to think about misogyny and how women are brought up to believe, especially then, but even now, that they are crazy.
That's true.
This is a thing that people say about women from the time they're little kids. They're like, you're crazy. You're so crazy.
Yeah.
And they go, well, I mean, a demon pulled a sheet off of us.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just weird. I'm just a weird girl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I physically felt someone grab my face and as they were a masked figure, but no, I'm just cuckoo.
I'm a silly girl.
Must be that time of the month where I see ghosts.
That's what it is.
Fully materialized.
I'm bleeding ghosts.
Yeah. And then, and speaking of women, ding, 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 ding. Our hottie of the week goes to Madam Charlotte for being a smoking hot nun. Anyway, she's a beautiful lady. And, you know, if you're watching this and you...
What is her name? We need to actually find her real name so we don't just call her Stephanie Sigmund.
Hey, Stephanie. I'm going to level with you. I would love to safely go on a COVID date. Let's do some kind of video chat.
Yes. Or we could get a meal on a patio.
Oh, yeah.
If we're both we're going to have, you and I, Michael, are both going to have dates with Stephanie.
Yes.
And we can be honest, going to have a great time.
Yeah, it'll be great. Co-date. Oh, you were thinking two separate dates.
I'm saying like, yeah, not like two dudes, but I'm up for that if you want to as well. Seems like it'd probably be...
It'd be weird, but...
Because there'd be some sort of as much as we are friends, once we get around beautiful Stephanie, we would hate each other immediately.
Intense. Yeah, that would...
And honestly, it's not worth losing our friendship.
Oh.
And even more important than our friendship, it's not worth losing this podcast.
I know, God forbid. If anything, we maintain the podcast. We put a fake smile on our fucking face every week now. And you get it done.
What happens next week?
Yeah. Then it just gets worse and worse. Little scarier things happen. And then Charlotte she's getting wrecked by this demon. Like, it is fully effing her. And it says it wants her soul. It straight up tells her. And it is scary. And then she gets on a little stair chair that is electric. In my notes, I kept saying electric chair. And I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Electric chair?
It's like a stair chair, whatever that is. It rides
if you've seen Gremlins, when the old lady gets thrown out of a window, it's like that, except it's slower. Yeah,
slower, and it's scarier because as soon as they introduce it, you're like, this is going to be a scary thing in this movie.
Yes.
And almost said Charlotte. And Janice rides it down as the demon is filling the house with blackness, just pure blackness. And then, of course, it can control the electricity. So it stops the thing and sucks her back up. And she literally just gets sucked into the air. And you're like, oh.
Yes, what do you say, Michael?
And then she lands unconscious and she's effed.
Now I want to say this. While we're here, this is not my Euro. This is not my favorite part, but this is a good ass part.
Oh yeah.
there's the moment where she's up at the top of the stairs and you have a little bit of a break and you're like, what's going to happen? And then she gets disappeared into the air. Sucked. Yeah. I don't know. The demon sucks her into the air. Yeah. We don't know how it happens. The mechanics of demon sucking, we don't understand.
Yeah.
And then her tiny little child boot falls to the floor. And then her poor, a little bit longer later, there's like a slow, very almost imperceptible zoom in on the boot. And then slam!
Her whole body.
Our poor polio-ridden body of Janice smashes into the ground.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. And a really good part about this movie is that it gets a lot worse than you expect it to.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, it's a little carefree for a movie about a bunch of like kids who have no parents. It's pretty like silly and jokey, and everybody's teasing each other, and they're all kind of having a good time, even though secretly there's a demon.
Yeah,
you're like, this is kind of fun, and then it keeps kicking up the notches, and all the notches keep going higher and higher. What happens next, Michael?
Speaking of notches, Janice is sitting out in the sun, but the demon is not letting her leave. Yeah, she survived, and she's like, looks horrible. No offense.
Sorry, Janice.
In
the movie.
Yeah, in the movie.
You're a great special lady.
Yeah. And then she gets thrown into a bunch of shit in the barn, which again, you're like, damn, this is relentless. And then they do the classic Conjuring vibes, where the little girl jumps on top of Janice and vomits her essence into her mouth, which is always so creepy, which was done the best, I think, in the first Conjuring, where like the mom's laying on the bed and then the witch lady like slides in front of her in the air. You're like, ooh. And she just goes, like, it's so gross.
I like a good puking into someone's mouth scene. There's a really good one in Drag Me to Hell.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
I think there's like bugs and shit in that one.
Yeah, that one's gross.
A little much.
I think that is another underrated movie. It's great.
Don't tell our co-host John because he thinks it kind of sucks, and he's wrong.
I thought it was fun.
It's awesome. The ending. It's a fucking great time.
It's great.
Fuck you, anybody who disagrees with me. No, actually, it's fine if you disagree with me. Just please don't tell me, because it'll hurt my feelings, and I won't know what to say. I'll go, okay, well, I like it. I don't know. Sorry. Yeah. I wish you would like it because we could watch it together and have a fun time, eat snacks.
Yes.
But what happens next?
What else? Oh, she's evil now, and then then it all goes.
She has a moment where she goes, I'm fine. Yeah. She does a very evil horror movie.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Never mind how I rolled into the bar and locked myself in.
And shrieked.
Yeah, and shrieked. I was stuck in here, so I screamed.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But I'm fine.
And her friend immediately knows something's up. She's like,
this bitch crazy as hell. Exactly. That's what her poor friend says in my director's cut.
In her monologue, yeah. We decided to cut that from the film. We tested it and it just didn't.
Earlier it had like the Blade Runner monologue thing, where there's just like a sad monologue. And sometimes it's like a sassy monologue where it's like, this bitch is crazy as hell.
Crazy as hell. And
this bitch got a demon inside. This bitch in a wheelchair got a demon inside her head trying to get her to take our souls too.
Boy, does she. Because she then turns full demon and kills Mr. Mullins, crushes his body, and sucks his soul, I guess. He looks real bad.
His fingers back too.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Good shit.
It's wild. It's a very, very sick death. He's dead,
but not like sick, like a skater.
No,
sick death, dude. Where you do like
when a skater dies,
and you fall and you die, and you go, sick. It's not sick. It's like, that's sick. I'm sickened.
Sick death, bro. That's great.
Sick death, bro.
No, it's a regular death. Well, not regular.
Regular sick death.
But then it just gets that whole night just falls apart, and the demon is out for blood and tries to kill everybody through Janice. And this is where it gets tricky, because I guess it can split itself up into as many things as it wants.
Yes.
And it becomes a scarecrow. It scares some girls, and then tries to kill people, and is the doll, and then kills Mrs. Mullins, then becomes Mrs. Mullins.
Yes.
It's nuts.
The Mrs. Mullins murder is where you go, it got really fucked.
Yeah.
Because the girls, the non-main character girls, I mean, that is essentially their function.
Yeah.
Is to be other girls.
Other girls.
Go into Miss Mullins' room, and they see her. First, we see her just with arms outstretched, stigmata style, like our Lord and Savior.
Classic.
And then we reveal that the entire bottom half of her body has been ripped off.
Ripped off, and we don't know where it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the demon ate it. Maybe it's just under the bed.
Yeah, who knows? Now that would have been a good bit.
Look underneath.
Yeah.
And the toes start running at him.
That's what I was thinking. Legs just come running out.
He tries to kick him. Hey, get off of me.
Yeah. That would be scary. But then, as it is all culminating in Janice about to kill her friend Linda, which is the ultimate sin, and that's why the demon wants her to do it.
They're friends. They love each other.
Hottie of the week saves the day. Madam Charlotte bursts in on the scene and throws rosary beads on Janice and goes, "Forgive me," and throws her into the Bible room, the room with all the Bible pages, and Annabelle in there as well, and closes the door and slams a big old shelf. Oh, that was scary. Sean heard a ghostly sound.
I heard noises.
And behind him, his background is the demon from Annabelle. That's very scary.
You probably can't actually hear those noises, so it's just me turning around, looking insane. But there are
You do look
noises.
insane.
And that's it,
And
right?
that's the movie, basically. I mean,
except
there's a twist.
What is the twist?
Janice got away, and she gets adopted and grows up, and then becomes a cult woman and kills some people at the beginning of the first Annabelle movie. Dun, 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 dun.
The end.
The end. Because we've got to tie everything together.
Yes, everything must be tied together. Very important. Always very important.
Always.
I want to talk about our beef lamb heroes of the picture. What is the best part of this picture? I'll start. Then because you did plot.
Let me. It's time to talk about our beef lamb heroes of the movie. Sean, what's your beef lamb hero?
Hey, Michael, thanks for asking. Thanks for asking me about the beef lamb hero of the picture. Oh, I have one. My hero, and I have a sneaking suspicion that it might even be your hero.
Are you sure?
I have a sneaking suspicion.
Uh-oh.
We'll see. Linda is playing hide and seek. The little girls have sent her to play hide and seek because they're assholes.
Yes, they are. Oh, yeah.
They're the older girls, and they're just mean. And whatever time period this is, the 40s, who knows, 30s?
Knows?
Whenever this happens, you could still be like mean to handicapped people.
Yes.
So they're just like mean to the handicapped girl and mean to her friend. And they send Linda.
Oh, but counterpoint, not mean to the black girl.
Yes, that's very weird.
Yeah. Or their nun, who is also a person of color. So
yeah, she's Hispanic, I would assume.
Kind of cool.
Probably.
Progressive yet not.
Yes. Yeah, like a little bit. I think maybe if you are, if you have no parents.
Yeah. You're nicer.
It's like harder to be racist because like your parents are like, "Hey son, sit on your daddy's lap. I'm going to tell you about the people that are bad and the people that are good. Look at the back of my hand and the front, both sides of my hand. This is good. If you see something, I don't know, like, okay, you picture me put in the toaster oven for 30 minutes on medium. That's bad. Yeah, anything darker than that is bad, son. But if you don't have a dad to tell you what to be racist about, All you know is that you just don't like the lady in the wheelchair.
Exactly.
You're just mad about that, and you're like, oh, this nun's pretty nice. This black girl seems nice.
But
she barely is a character in the movie.
Exactly. Yeah, that might be a bigger no.
Yeah.
But I do like that she goes, "Are we gonna go look for her?" And then the mean lead girl goes, "Maybe."
Maybe.
It's like,
yes.
Rude.
That's what they do. Mm-hmm. But so Linda.
Yes.
I haven't even gotten to the Euro yet. This is the pre-Euro. Linda is trying to find a good hiding space, and ooh boy does she. She's walking up the stairs. She sees that there's weird grates in each stair. And she looks underneath the stairs, and there's a secret compartment. I don't know if the air conditioning happens in there. I don't know why it's like that.
Who
but
knows?
It's there. She can go inside of it. And I've got bad news for you, Michael.
What?
Because Annabelle's under there.
Oh, no.
And nobody wants to see Annabelle underneath some stairs, sitting in a chair, being very still.
That's right.
And then my Euro happens because the Annabelle gets just tugged real fast by an unseen, probably demon.
Yes.
I mean, we probably know that it's a demon, but at the time we go, what happened?
What was
and
that?
There's a loud skronk noise. And it's just a perfect little jump scare.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good. The skronk is so good.
Mm-hmm.
The pull is so good.
Oh, and the glowing eyes. You see the eyes glow for a second. You're like,
the glowing eyes are really good.
What is that?
I just love it.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, jump scares, as we know, are frowned upon in the world of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a few words for you, the internet. You're wrong.
Yeah, they can
jump
be
scares
good.
are good. They're the entire point of a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you just build it up right.
Yeah, you gotta earn it, baby.
Yes.
And
they absolutely earn it.
Yeah.
And then they go skronk, and you go, oh fuck, I'm scared. And it's a great time.
And I also want to just commend this movie. Most horror movies have the scene, from my memory, I don't think this happened, where someone like grabs someone's shoulder like, hey, and like that's the jump scare. I don't think it ever plays anything like that. Anything that isn't supposed to be scary, I don't think is ever played like that.
Now.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry about this.
Oh no.
Early on, they're playing Annabelle and her dad.
Mm.
The little girl Annabelle, not the doll.
Yeah, that would be
really fucked up if it was Chucky. Annabelle and her daddy are playing hide and seek. And he kind of sneaks up on her, and there's like the miniest jump, but that part is supposed to be scary for Annabelle.
Exactly.
So I don't think it counts. I take it back. You're right. Great job, movie.
Yeah, great job, movie. This is a great job, movie.
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
2 thumbs up to whatever your name is.
Oh,
Foreign Man.
I love this director.
David F. Sandberg.
Well, I loved Lights Out, which I thought was another
Lights
really
Out is
fun
a great
movie.
time.
It's so fun. It kind of, maybe the ending gets a little wacky, but it's still fun, the whole movie. And it's such a good idea. I just love it. It's
a lovely time.
Big fan. And I think he brought a lot of that to this movie, and I showed, and I was like, oh, like a lot of the camera work too is just like great. Which cool. Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. So I don't know if that's my Euro, but it's something I liked.
Is the director your Euro?
This could be the rare time.
Or do you have a hot other Euro? Because I've got a bunch.
I've got tons of Euros.
But what's your most Euro?
I think my favorite is the bit Linda has the gun.
Yes,
the ball gun.
Yes.
I think this was my favorite bit throughout. I was like, oh, this is such there were so many well thought out like horror bits, and I was like, oh my god, they like set these up so well. Like when she first gets it, she shoots Annabelle the doll.
Yes,
and it's so funny. And then the next cut, the doll's like looking at her. It's really funny.
Why did you shoot me with that pop gun?
Yeah.
This is not part of the bit that you're speaking about. But the gun itself is kind of modeled after like a old school sci-fi ray gun.
Yeah.
And the design is so cool.
So
the moment I saw it, I was like, I want to own one of these.
How do I get
so
that?
fucking cool. because it like you put the little rubber ball in the hole
Mm-hmm.
and you shoot it and it makes a nice like pump noise.
Pump.
And then it's got like a little fishing reel.
Yes.
And you reel it back in with like a little bit of, string or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just pump it back in there. I love this thing.
Oh.
And obviously they're not going to mass produce a gun
replica.
from a somewhat obscure Annabelle movie.
But
I wish they would.
I just think it is probably somewhere. Someone from the movie probably has it at their house, just like, oh yeah, I love this whole thing.
I'm gonna contact on Instagram each member of the cast and say, do you have the pop gun? I will give you $17. America dollars.
Yeah, America dollars.
Hey, or best offer. If you have, you can move me up to maybe 20, 25. But I'm not gonna be happy about it.
Max.
Yes.
I love it.
That's my top.
Yeah, that's the top. And speaking of the top.
Oh, tell me about this bit.
Of this bit. The top is this bit. I don't know.
Yes, it's the top C.
But I just love it because she gets scared by. Oh yeah, and another funny bit. She looks through the keyhole, and Annabelle's just rocking on a chair.
So fucked up.
It's so great. And then she opens the door and she's not there anymore. She's like, "I'm getting the f out of here."
Yeah, this room sucks. I hate it.
It's so brilliant. It's just so good. Like, it's probably not as scary the more you see it, obviously, but you just love it. You're like, God, this is so well thought out. Like, I just watch it going like, oh, this is just fun. But so Linda shoots the ball out because she's like scared, and she keeps winding it back in. It's a long wind too, so you're like, oh, I wonder what's happening. And then she shoots it again, and she's winding it, and it gets caught, and you're like, oh no. And then then it lifts up in the air higher and higher, and you're like, and she's just like, which is great. Like the vulnerability of these like young kids is like even scary. You're like, oh God.
Yes.
And then you just hear footsteps running straight to the room.
Oh my God.
It's like so well done. Or
it's really scary.
And then and then she jumps on top of her bunk, and then the lights go out, and even scare it just builds and builds, and then the bed like shakes a little, and you're like, oh. And then you see like a top down like shot of the room, and then black smeary creepy footprints to the bed, and you're like, oh no.
I love this part because it's on the wood, and I think you could probably clean those footprints off the wood, and then it gets onto like a little piece of carpet, and you're like, that carpet's fucked.
Yeah,
there's no saving that carpet. It's got demon footprint on it forever.
I was most scared for that carpet. I was like,
yeah, me too.
God. My heart.
Poor guy.
Cleaning that up. We have to really think about this. That carpet is probably ruined. Like that real carpet.
Yes.
They ruined it.
Just for this fucking movie. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
David F. Sandberg and the cast.
I know what that F stands for.
And the writer Gary Dauberman.
Gary Dauberman. Dauberman was my favorite Harry Potter character.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a really good one.
Is he the one with the sock for a hat?
Yeah, the sock for a hat. And he's
got a shoe for a nose.
Yeah.
That guy's silly.
2 hooks for eyes. It's weird. I was like, what the fuck?
I have interrupted your Euro like 7 times.
It's okay.
What happens next in this great bit?
We're even with the amount of time. This is just the interrupt. We just have a unspoken rule. We
must. We must what, Michael?
But then Linda looks down and she sees Annabelle just sitting under there. You're like, fuck. And then to make it even worse, a black claw hand grabs it and moves it over like, come sleep with me. Cuddle time. Which, an astounding feat, she then falls asleep. Which I would never be able to fall asleep knowing some creature was sleeping beneath me.
Maybe it's some kind of thing where it's like, she had such an insane experience that it just
wore her out.
Completely tuckered her out.
Yeah, I would probably pass out. Maybe she fainted. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
I got the vibe because she looks over at the wall and there's a really cool camera trick where it almost looks like headlights are coming through the window or something, but it's just like slowly changing into daytime.
Yeah.
And then I almost thought it'd be maybe even cooler if she had just been like awake the entire night. Like they cut back to her just like staring in the same spot. Like, yeah, that would be interesting. But
I was afraid all night.
Yeah, I was afraid. But yeah, that is definitely my top Euro, and I have more, but I just loved it.
I'm gonna drop another one on you.
Please
While
do.
we're saying, let's say more nice things.
Yes, please.
This is like an in between. I don't know if this is good or bad. But the little girl who plays Annabelle.
Yes.
Is pretty good, but she is instantly creepy.
Yeah.
Like there's no moment when you're like, I like this little kid. You're just instantly like, man, there's something off about this kid. Like I think she just has maybe sunken eyes or something. Yeah. And the problem with that, actually, there's no problem with it. It's fine because she eventually does become evil demon girl. But I do think, as we thought with poor Porkins in Star Wars, that like the casting must have been really weird because they're like, well, you look fucking scary.
Yeah.
Little girl. Yeah, she's fucking scary as hell. Like they're in the casting room. Yeah. Like, oh my God, get me out of this room with this fucking creepy girl. I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out. This girl's so scary.
Yeah, normally. She's like, Thank you. I got the job, creepy child.
I got the demon child job.
Which I want to bring up in my opinion, less successful sequel to this. Yes. They have that same girl.
Yeah.
But somehow she looks like she hasn't aged and she's back. It's really weird. I was like, how'd they do that? Anyway. Who knows?
Did they use the computer?
Maybe. Movie magic.
Okay, actual good thing. Scarecrow.
Oh, yeah.
I love this fucking Scarecrow.
Oh, it's so good.
I mean, they do this over and over and over again. Like one of the main bits in the movie is that they show a thing and you go, uh-oh.
That's coming back.
That's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Whenever that gets scary, I'm going to be real scared of that.
Yeah.
And they do it with the Scarecrow, and you're like, oh, fuck. This is going to be... The moment you see him, you're like, I'm going to be scared of this whenever something scary happens.
It's so good.
And the whole Scarecrow bit is like right near the end when it gets really bad. They're trying to start the car to get the hell out of there. The four non-special girls, the four lesser girls who are not given much to say throughout the movie, and they're trying to start the car and they see the Scarecrow. Ooh. And he does the Annabelle thing where he only moves when it's dark.
Yeah, it was
like
good.
His head is slowly turning towards them, but I think probably for the best. Eventually, he starts moving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the oldest girl, what is her fucking name?
The oldest girl, Nancy? Or no, not Nancy.
It is Nancy, isn't it?
Nancy's she's the oldest, worst one.
No, wait. Carol is the oldest one.
Oh, yes. Carol. So Carol and Nancy.
Carol is the oldest, and she gets stuck in the barn. Woo. This barn is bad. You don't want to go in there with the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of good bits happen in this bit. One,
so good.
Light bulbs slowly unscrewing themselves and falling to the floor and making a big crash noise as a little bit of dark happens.
And what I'll interrupt you and say, what a good idea. Please. Like most horror movies, they just flicker, but like what a good idea to just like show. Like that's just great. It's creepy.
Yes.
It's like, ooh.
It's such a good bit. And it becomes sort of an even better bit as it goes on.
Yeah.
Because they're slowly squeaky, falling and crashing. And you see the demon begin to emerge from the Scarecrow, which is scary enough with weird hands.
Yeah.
And then it gets really fucked up because the demon tears away like the burlap sack of the Scarecrow, and there are horrifying demon teeth underneath. And you can see that and you go, oh, get out of there.
Get out of there.
Get the hell out of there. You don't want to be, because he's got teeth.
Yeah.
And they keep the light bulbs are meanwhile still falling. And she gets up on a ladder and she's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop this light bulb. And then it gets real quiet. She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? She looks around the room. There's like a long camera move one way to see her. We look at her. We go, okay. And then it moves back.
Yes.
And we see her face, and we see the lamp behind her, and a scary hand crushes the light bulb behind her, and she falls off the thing. And it's so fucking scary.
So scary.
Oh, it's good. Really good.
It's wild. That thing is so well done. It's so creepy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, ugh, yuck, I don't like this guy.
A lot of what this movie does is like simple things really well.
Yeah.
It's not the best horror movie ever.
No.
It's definitely not the most original horror movie ever.
Surely not.
It's just lots of really good set pieces done really, really well.
Really well.
Milked every bit of goodness out of it.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, there's a girl and she's stuck in a barn with a scary scarecrow. What are we gonna do with that?
We're gonna make it scary.
If the light bulbs slowly go out? Oh, that's cool. And then they crash and they make scary crash noises. Oh, that's perfect. And then there's the demon, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
What if he hangs upside down and lowers himself into frame? This is so creepy. You're like, ooh. The eyes are what are really good in this. They don't bring this back in the next one, and they didn't do it in the first one with these like piercing white eye. Like, it's just really well done, because you don't think about that for like a scary thing. Like, I was like, oh, this is like different and cool. Like, it was just fun.
The eyes are also kind of, I mean, they're a theme, because like at some point Linda has a picture, or was it Janice? I think somebody has a picture of Annabelle and Annabelle the doll. Yeah. And when she like puts it in the shade, the eyes of Annabelle,
our little
girl, glow.
It's crazy.
It's spooky.
It's really very spooky. It's so I love it. I think that is just such a good effect and so creepy.
So simple and so pure.
So pure.
Let's drop a few more good ones, and then let's drop some bad ones.
So good ones. There's just some really cool. I already mentioned camera movements, but there's just like a really cool one. I don't even know when it was, but it's like I think it's one of the gags where like Annabelle disappears or something, and then the camera like. It's like really hard to explain. Oh no, I know it is. She's gone. It's early on. She's gone from the chair in the room with the cross and the Bible pages. Yes. And then it like the whole camera like turns upside down, so then like the crosses are upside down. And you're like, uh-oh. And then it like pans, but somehow pans into another shot panning up from this well. And I was like, that is just so good. Like, yes, I love stuff like that. So that was my favorite of the shot tricks.
Yeah, the camera moves in really fun ways, and sort of, I mean, in a similar way to the way James Wan moves the camera in the Conjuring proper,
for sure,
and the Conjuring 2 proper, because he's doing some crazy ass shit in those movies.
Yeah, exactly,
and it's fun. It's a whole lot of fun. I think I have maybe one or two more good things. Okay, wait, this is my final good thing.
Ooh, final, damn.
Yeah, we see half mom.
Half mom.
So the half mom has been torn in half. And poor Linda's downstairs. She's taken the dumbwaiter to try to go to safety, but in fact, she's not gotten to any place any safer at all.
It's gotten worse
because there's a huge blood stain on the wall, and she slowly follows the smeared blood along the floor until she sees a prone. Seemingly dead half of a woman who jumps up and crawls at her. Scary, terrifying half woman. It's so good. And it's fucked up.
And a dumbwaiter too is another. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh, that's gonna come into play.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be bad. Good. I don't want to be around this dumbwaiter.
I love it.
Because the demon's gonna try to grab me.
It's so good. And then
drop one final good thing on me, Michael.
I'm just gonna say. There are two parts. There's actually a lot of good stuff I still have, but I'll just do broad ones. Like I'll do a specific one and then broad. Okay.
I love it.
So there's a part earlier on that's just a sweet moment between the two friends, where Linda doesn't want to leave Janice because she doesn't want to leave her all alone, and then she goes, "You promised you wouldn't treat me any different." And then, like this is so funny to me. It's so sincere. She's like, "Okay. See ya," and just like runs off so like jovially, and I just love that. It just cracked me up. I was like, that's really funny.
It's a really good genuine kid moment.
Yeah.
Because you can picture Linda, who gets to leave and doesn't hang out with her friend in a wheelchair anymore, or I guess she's not in a wheelchair yet. Her polio friend.
Yeah.
She goes out to play, and she's excited to do it, but she feels like she has all reasons because she said, "Hey, I'll stay with you," and then her friend said, "You wouldn't. I told you not to treat me any differently."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Okay, well, bye.
Bye. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm out of here." And then like Janice is like, fuck. I should have just had her treat me differently.
Exactly.
Because we could have been sitting around playing.
Hanging out, yeah.
Fuck.
She could have helped me down the stairs or something.
Yes, we could have done car wheels.
Yeah, or I could have watched her.
Yes.
More likely. And then there's another line at the end where after Linda has thrown Annabelle down the well, and then this horror stuff has happened, and then they close the well, and then it starts banging, and Madam Charlotte's like, "What's that?" And then Linda says, "Who cares? Run."
Who cares? Run is really good.
It's like, that's great.
It's so solid.
Anyways, we have to stop.
It can't all be good.
Even though no more.
Hey.
Ooh.
Tweet at us. If you want to hear more positive things, tweet at us at Food Courtcast, and we'll tell you what they are. Tweet at Mampy Hikes.
Yes.
Is that what it is on Twitter?
Yeah. Tweet at Mampy Hikes. I'm there.
And he'll tell you probably 7 to 10 more things
he loved.
about Annabelle creation.
I
loved.
He loves.
Lo mein.
Oh.
I have like a few lo mains. But my main one is it's Star Wars-itis. This movie has Star Wars-itis.
It really does.
It's like the adoption thing.
Yeah.
Like,
ugh.
I don't need it.
It doesn't.
What I want, my ideal ending for this movie. It's the next morning, and the priest brings out this Annabelle doll.
Yeah.
And he's like, "We have cleansed the doll, and there's no more demon in there. We did holy water God stuff, and now there's no more demon inside of this Annabelle doll. Who wants it?"
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Fuck that."
Exactly.
And they put it in the trunk of a police car, or maybe it's a cab, something, and they close the trunk. That's the end.
Credits, yeah. I think
and it right fucking there. It's like a funny little button.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be with the Annabelle doll. The Annabelle doll moves on into the future. We know what else happens to it.
Yeah.
And in this version, it's like Janice gets adopted, and then we have to link it to the other movie, and we don't need to.
It makes it like more dependent on you than going, which I get. I'm sure the production company was like, yeah, it's got to end with you connecting because of the Star Wars-itis, Marvel-itis, like everything has to be leading to more ticket sales, which is goofy because it's like, well, what, the movie already came out that it would be leading to, so no one's
because I have still never seen that first one.
I don't
Annabelle movie.
Recommend it. It was just kind of lame, and it's definitely not helmed as well. Like it's the camera stuff. It's just kind of boring, and I don't know.
But when I saw that, I was like, I guess that happened in the other movie. Like that is what I thought when I saw it. Well, I guess that's what happened in the other movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
which is a weird way to end it. For me,
the
person who has not seen the thing, and I go, well, I guess that probably is something I just don't know about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a weird.
Okay, there's the end. Cool.
It would almost work better if it's like at the end of the credits, so you don't. It's not necessarily a part of the movie or something.
Yes. Like, do the stupid Marvel mid credits. This is the link to the other thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But for me, just close the trunk.
End.
Annabelle's gone.
Close the trunk.
Credits.
Light. Close the trunk. Then the light from outside is on Annabelle's face. It's just a slow zoom in.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
The end of the movie.
Yes.
Cue Mr. Sandman. Mr. Sandman.
That's another. You got me on another low main.
Uh-oh.
I don't like in a movie when they just obviously can't afford a song or something, so they get someone to record a new song and then try to make it sound kind of old. They have like "You Are My Sunshine," and it's just so clearly a new recording of it.
Yeah.
And it just sounds. It doesn't sound like an old recording.
It
doesn't even seem like they add enough pops and cracks on it to make it sound like it's playing on a record.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
You are my... Who listens to that?
Even that bit, like, at some point, Janice starts to sing it, and you're like,
it's
I
not a
don't know.
good bit. It didn't need to be there.
Who cares? And
speaking of not good bits, my low main...
Drop your low main on me, please.
Well, it's weird because it's the moment before it, almost a euro for me. It is when Mr. Mullins comes in and he's like, got his crucifix. He's like, something's up. And then Janice, after he gets a note from Annabelle that says, found you, which is now in black ink, which some of that stuff is not my favorite, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then Janice wheels in, and then you see her get up. Or does she walk in? No, I can't remember. She's still wheeling then. But
I think she still might be wheeling.
Yeah. He looks at her, and then she backs into the darkness, and her eyes do that white light thing and then like stretch up, and she gets bigger. Like, I love all the transforming stuff. It's really fun. Yes. I was like, ooh. But then I was not a fan of the way they executed the fingers break. It just looks... It looks like... As soon as they cut to his hand, you're like, oh, that's a fake hand. And it's like, it just, the fingers, it just looks weird. You're like, and he's somehow still gripping. It just doesn't really make any, you're like, this doesn't make any sense.
He's just got a really strong hold with his thumb for some reason.
Yeah.
It is weird. I
didn't like that.
Especially in a movie when, like, not much stuff like this happens.
No, at all. That I can even think of.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff that is CG assisted, obviously, and there's like the demon is clearly CG somewhat.
Yeah.
But like this is just so clearly kind of weird, wonky.
It's
CG.
very I mean, honestly, you could have just had his like hand like break or something, like, and the thing flies off, and then you just hear all those sounds of him dying.
Yes,
that would have been, I think, better.
Yeah, when they cut away from the hand and you hear like that works perfectly well.
Yeah. You know, he's getting crunched up.
Yeah, he's getting totally crunched up.
Yeah. But
he's getting crunched on.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just felt weird. And yeah, it's like you're saying, there's like so little other CG. It just really sticks out. You're like, low point. But
that's a big time low point. Yeah. I totally agree. This is another low point for me.
Ooh.
Why are there so many kids? Now, maybe it's just so that there are more kids. I don't exactly understand why, but because there are two main characters, Linda and Janice, are the main ones, and they have their foils in the other kind of older girls.
Sure.
And then there's like the little black girl and this other little white girl.
Yeah.
And they do nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Very vaguely in this movie.
They stand next to the mean girls.
Yeah.
And sometimes laugh at things.
Yeah.
Or go,
It's weird.
And it's just weird that they're in there.
Yeah, it felt, I don't know what, I think they were like, well, they're from an orphanage, we have to have a certain number or something.
Maybe that's what it is.
And then they just couldn't all play a role. Like, there was just no way, probably, time-wise.
It'd have to be a long-ass movie.
Yeah, it was weird.
It seems like, especially because they don't have anything to do.
Yeah, literally.
So, like, what do you do if you have nothing to do?
You just stand there?
I mean, just kind of stand there and you go, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I kind of felt that way about the mom, too. You're kind of like,
yes.
It sucks because that's like a good actress, and she just kind of is like in a bed, and you have like one scene where you actually see her.
Yes.
Like, this is kind of weird, but
yes. Her job is to eventually be a half woman and be scary, I guess, mostly.
I guess she's in a flashback, so they needed a good actress for that, which makes sense.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, there's it can nitpick all day, but stuff like that, I would say, like, it is weird. You're just like, why are they here?
I mean, why are these kids in it? Like, I mean, it's especially when you think like this is a kind of a low budget movie. Yeah. Why did they spend them? I mean, I'm glad that these little girls got paid money, and hopefully their parents are not evil people and they feed them well and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But you think like, well, if they didn't have those kids, maybe they'd spend on rubber fingers. Yeah. For a cool rubber finger effect.
Exactly.
Or something.
Yeah,
could
that
they
would have
pulled
been
off a
cooler.
rubber finger effect.
I mean, I would have loved to see a practical version of that. It'd be very interesting. It'd be
Yeah.
Pretty creepy looking.
Get Stan Winston. Hey, Stan Winston, you're dead now, but do you still have a company that exists? I bet your son or somebody's doing stuff. Stan's son, whatever your name
Stanson.
is. Frank Winston.
Stanson Winston.
Stanston Winston. Please do these fingers for us.
Please.
We fired the black girl. It was really tough on us because she was the main person of color in our movie, but we had to do it so we could get these rubber fingers, so make them good.
Had to do it. Yeah, like you could have totally gotten away with the movie with just the 2 younger girls and the 2 older girls, and they just don't. They're just in separate rooms. That would be the easiest. It is so weird. Easy. I guess maybe they're like, stakes. There's more girls, so maybe something will happen to these vague characters. Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing
yeah,
really.
They just, nothing really happens to them because they end up just running near the older girls.
Yeah, exactly.
They get scared next to other people. And that is their point as they go, I'm scared too.
I'm also scared.
Me too. I'm the littlest girl. I guess I wasn't quite good enough of an actress to play Janice or Linda.
Yeah.
So,
which I will say a good thing, even though this is low mains. Well, first I'll do my last low main. It's again in the like creating a cinematic universe. The pointless scene where Mr. Mullins is like, who's this picture of these nuns? And she's oh, these are all my nun friends. And then it's like a holographic effect, like where he moves it, and then there's a hidden nun, which and he's like, who's that? And she's like, oh, I don't know. I've never seen her or something like that. It's like, what?
It's really weird. I think, I am of 2 minds of this scene. Mm-hmm. I think it's stupid and worthless, but I kind of like the effect.
Yeah.
Like the actual effect of the spooky nun showing up is pretty good, but it's like they just have to make a nun movie, so they have to put the nun in the thing, I get that.
Kind of. Yeah, it was just a weird stretch. I was like...
Yeah, especially because the nun, when first introduced in The Conjuring 2, is awesome. Like that scene with the nun in Conjuring 2 where it comes out of the painting is so fucking scary. Yeah. It's like one of the best scenes in that whole movie.
Yeah.
And then for this to be kind of like what about The Nun?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
In theaters. They should say in theaters.
Yeah.
What about The Nun in theaters, June 27th?
They should make a movie about her. She's scary.
Yeah. They should make a movie that takes place in the time when she was first, and it's starring the other lady from the other movie's sister or something, but
that they never link in any way.
It looks just like her.
That was the weirdest. Weird. We can take a detour on that. I did not like that movie, and I was like,
stupid.
Why did they? It made no sense to cast someone they deliberately knew looked just like, what's her name? She has a
I think
wild
it's
name.
Vera Farmiga is the main from Conjuring.
Yeah, it's insane how much they look alike, and there's just
I think they are related. They are actually related, right?
Yeah, and there's just no link in the movie. I was like, they don't.
Yeah, just say it's a great grandmother or some shit.
That kind of thing would make sense. Not these like weird like here's a picture of the nun. There you go.
Oh, the nun's sneaking out. Nun's in the corner.
Yeah,
hanging out.
It has
smoking a cigarette.
What did I say? I said none necessary. That was none necessary.
It was none necessary. The entire movie is none necessary. You don't need it.
You don't need it. This should have been the first Annabelle. There should have never been another Annabelle.
Yes.
I thought that there were a couple parts in the Comes Home that were okay, but it was just kind of weird and very CG heavy. It was a weird movie.
Yeah.
It was like,
and just like, especially after this one, which kind of nailed the tone and the vibe and in some ways the look of the Conjuring movies, but still sort of had its own style. Had some really good bits.
Yeah.
To then see this other one where it's like, oh, this is kind of cheeseball.
Weird, yeah. And they like were kind of hanging on like using the characters, Lorraine and the dude.
Yes.
From The Conjuring, and then they kind of didn't really have anything to do with. It was just a weird. I was like, what is this? I don't.
Yeah.
And
definitely big time Han Solo vibes where it's just like. Yeah. Well, there they are.
Yeah.
We trotted them out for you. How do you feel?
Hope you liked it.
If you like these movies, you'll like this, right, idiot? And you go, yeah.
I guess
so. I do.
Yeah, I guess.
Shit, you got me. I do like them.
You got me, but
I like their characters.
You lost me at the werewolf ghost. I don't
Yes.
know about that.
Ghost with dimes on its eyes for some reason.
Dime eyes, old dime eyes.
That one's gonna be a movie too.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't successful enough to warrant other
not.
Dime Eyes movies.
And I really hope they were gonna do the one about the Crooked Man from the second Conjuring, and that was just not a good. I was like,
no, the Crooked Man was
an anime bad guy or something. It was really weird.
Get rid of that Crooked Man.
Yeah, strange,
stupid,
very strange. Anyway, we watched this movie and I loved it again. I enjoy it every time.
I love this movie too, Michael. This is the rare total agreement movie.
It is.
We just both love it. All of its flaws don't matter.
Yep, they don't.
They pass by quickly, and I just still have a great time.
Yes.
And it is almost everything I want out of a horror movie, in that it is scary.
Yep.
And it's fun.
Scary.
That's all I really want.
Check.
I mean, if you can manage to make some great statement about the world, that's fine. But usually, it's going to be a worse movie if you try it. You're not smart enough to make that movie.
If Happy Feet can't pull it off, trust me, you can't. All right.
Yes. If George Miller, director of Road Warrior, can't pull it off in Happy Feet and Happy Feet 2, then who can?
He had 2
Don't even try
movies.
Just make a fun fucking movie.
And that's
scary.
And
that's all I want. Oh, speaking of fun, every week on this podcast, we talk about movies, and it's so much fun.
Oh.
Next week, we're going to put, right now, we're going to put up a poll.
Yes.
To ask you, the listener, what we're going to watch next week. And this is what's going on the poll. These are the options. They have nothing to do with one another, but they're all going on the poll. Wolf of Wall Street. New Tom Clancy movie with Michael B. Jordan. I got to remember what the name of it is, but I'll look it up. Woman in the Window, which is supposed to be bad. And once again, we're putting it back on the poll because nobody voted for it last time. The new Alexander Asia, I don't know. Oxygen, the new movie on Netflix, Oxygen. So go over and vote on that poll.
Yes.
Pick your favorite. Please make it Oxygen because I want to watch that movie.
Me
too. And while you're at Twitter, on Twitter, follow us at Food Court Cast. Follow us over at on Instagram at Food Court Movie Podcast. While you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, write us a wonderful review. Give us the most stars possible.
Please.
On your iTunes, that's going to be a 5, but on the other ones, there might be a 10 or a 7-star system. Just pick the most stars.
The most,
and write us.
Unless it's a how dissatisfied.
Yes. If they get really weird and they're like, okay, give us 17 stars if you hate it. Give us 13.5 stars if you love it.
Yeah.
And if you really, really love it, give us 3.5 stars. So just do that. Even if that is, I don't know if that's Podbean or some weird shit where they're doing the 17, 13.5, 3.5 stars. They're weird. But just whatever the most for the best. Please. Please, God, do that. Please. And follow us on Twitch. Follow us on all the things. Respond to all of our things. Do the things. Vote for the thing.
Yes.
Do the stuff. Michael? On behalf of you, Michael?
Yes.
And from me, Sean, may I say, bon appetit.